Right now, you're probably in a space you consider private. Maybe your room, maybe headphones on, maybe just scrolling without anyone watching. But here's something strange. If you remove everything modern, your phone, your door, your password, your curtains, even the idea of being offline, would privacy still exist? Or is it just something civilization invented to make modern life feel comfortable? Because if you go far enough back in time, there were no rooms, no locks, no "don't come in," no personal spaces where you could disappear. Just humans living completely exposed to each other, constantly visible, constantly aware of others. So if everything about you is visible, how does anything become private? Here's where it gets interesting. Even in the most exposed environments, humans still created privacy. But not with walls, not with architecture, not with technology. They created it with behavior. There were unspoken rules that shaped everything. Don't look at certain moments. Don't follow someone into certain spaces. Don't ask certain questions. Don't interrupt certain actions. And the strange part is, nobody needed to explain it. Everyone just understood. Privacy didn't require doors, it required agreement. But let's go even deeper, because humans are not the only ones who hide things. Chimpanzees do it too. They deceive. They mislead. They hide food. They change behavior depending on who is watching, and then return quietly when the coast is clear. Which tells us something powerful. Privacy-like behavior is not modern. It is ancient, deep, evolutionary. At some point, something even more interesting happened. Humans stopped just hiding actions and started hiding meaning. We begin to see this shift in ancient history. Objects appear that serve no survival purpose. A stone carried for years, a carved piece of bone, a shell shaped in a specific way, a colored mineral kept carefully, not food, not tools, not survival equipment. Identity. This is mine. And once something becomes mine, it immediately creates tension, because if it belongs to you, it can be taken. And if it can be taken, you need secrecy. You need protection. You need control over who knows what you have and where it is. And just like that, privacy expands. Not just into behavior, but into ownership. Then there's something even more mysterious. Cave paintings, deep inside dark caves, not near entrances, not in open areas, places that require effort, intention, and time just to reach. So why go there? Why paint something in a place almost no one would ever see? Maybe these were not made for others. Maybe they were made for the self, a kind of expression that didn't need an audience. Something closer to thought than communication. Something that existed not to be seen, but to be experienced. And if that's true, then privacy didn't just exist outside the mind, it existed inside it. Because this is where things become deeply human. At some point, humans learned something powerful. You cannot always show what you feel. So we began to split ourselves. What we show and what we feel. We smile when we are uncomfortable. We stay calm when we are afraid. We agree when we disagree. We stay silent when speaking would create risk. And over time, this becomes automatic, a hidden layer of human behavior. Because in small ancient groups, being fully transparent was dangerous. If others misread you, you could lose trust, lose status, lose safety, even lose your place in the group entirely. So privacy slowly moved inward, from the world into the mind. Then everything changes again. Farming begins. Settlements become permanent. Humans stop moving constantly and start building fixed spaces. And suddenly, for the first time, the environment starts reflecting human privacy. Rooms appear, boundaries appear, separation appears, sleeping areas become different from cooking areas, Storage becomes separate from living spaces. Privacy becomes physical again. But it is important to understand something. This is not the beginning of privacy. This is just the moment it becomes visible in architecture. Because by this point, privacy has already existed for hundreds of thousands of years. Inside behavior, inside emotion, inside cognition. And then we reach the modern world, where privacy becomes digital. Passwords, screens, accounts, hidden folders, private messages, browsing history, entire digital identities that exist behind layers of access control. But even now, the core idea has not changed, because at its center, privacy is still the same thing it always was: control over what others know about you. So when you think about your private life today, your passwords, your messages, your hidden thoughts, your silent moments when nobody is watching, you might assume it belongs to the modern world, but it doesn't. It belongs to something much older, something that started before civilization, before language, before history itself. So maybe the real question was never, did ancient humans have privacy? Maybe the real question is something else entirely. How did humans ever learn to live without losing it?